306 days, 19 hours, and currently 39 seconds since Eastridge and Southlake last played Southlake on October 17th. And on day 308, we're back for regular season high school football. I've never been so scared, but at the same time, so ecstatic for a high school football game in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, big one. This one for not just for bragging rights. We're talking about a top 100 rivalry matchup. Probably the best matchup going on in Orlando aside from TFA and DP. Guys, this is the biggest game of the year for a week one matchup. The Knights in Southlake going at it again once more on rivalry week. This is county dominance, everybody. This is Florida high school football, and this is Ridgecore's game preview of that. Connor, how are we feeling today? We're going
Uh,
nuts here.
Absolute. Every emotion, just like kind of like there's a lot of like the excitement, the hype building around this game, and just like that desire for like revenge. Especially. I mean, it's personal. It's personal. These rival games, they feel personal.
Last year, he did not close out the rivalry. Southlake refused to shake hands with Eastridge players. Have your own opinions about it. We won't go into it at all. But you can already tell they have been marking their calendars since October 17th of this past year. Every single day, they have worked hard to making sure that the Eagles go down and they get the revenge that they think they rightfully deserve. And it will be at home for the largest attendance Dungeons history. Let's get into it, everybody. First off, we have to address the elephant in the room. What happened last week versus St. Cloud? And of course, who I am talking about right now. Two players. The first one, Ron Palmer, finished off last Friday's game with an outstanding slate of numbers, one of which is the 3 touchdowns that he threw for, with only 4 incomplete passes.
Yeah, that is efficiency. Efficiency, a big part of the game that I think is really going to develop this year, but also, and I mean, you didn't mention this, but also his ability to escape the pocket and run for extra yards when there's not much of a play going on with the receivers. There's not much going on with the receivers. He's able to use those legs and make good plays, and that's what I was really excited to see during that game.
Ron Palmer has a really tough matchup against Trey Kelly. But one thing that Southlake probably needs to account for in this game is this wide receiver core. And of course, who I'm talking about right now, breakout Buddha Butler, the most underrated wide receiver in the entire state of Florida. Buddha Jordan Butler. Last week versus St. Cloud, he received all 3 of those touchdowns from Karan Palmer. 1 touchdown in 3 different corners, but the fourth, 90 yards receiving on 4 catches and 22 and a half yards per catch. Is this kid just the stuff or what, man?
Yeah, and I mean, it completely went under my radar. I'm one of those people who underrated him. Unfortunately, going into this season, I think a lot of people thought Lamar Garrison, he's going to be the man. Of course, he is. He's got the D1 offers. He got this. He got that. But Buddha's always been there. He's been there. He was there last year as well. Not really as noticeable as what Lamar Garrison was doing. But now this season, we might be seeing, hopefully, and I hope this for Buddha's sake, like a change in how that was going, and we'll see him take that step up, which he did. And Lamar Garrison did take a step down on offense. That's no disrespect to his game, though.
But when he isn't doing anything on the offensive side of the ball, let's say he's silent for half of the for that half of the game, he's doing something on the other side of the ball. Pick six off of Jeremiah Latier or Latier last Friday. He was super duper efficient on defense. He was on locks last night. And why are we not mentioning Messiah Bailey, this absolute monster that we have on defense? This man plays angrier than Brian Dawkins. This man is the Ray Lewis of Luke Kuechly's. Saya Bailey, Scoop, is a name to look out for this season, who just came to the Ridge not too long ago, but has been that substitution for Tony Brown on defense that the Knights have been looking for. We're looking for that angry, energetic athlete, and we have it in Scoop.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We absolutely needed it, and it was probably one of the areas that they went into the offseason kind of addressing. Like, okay, what can we do to improve our defense? That was probably top of the line priority because the defense did lose them a few games there, and including the South Lake one as well.
And speaking of South Lake looks to bounce back from a loss to Vieira in the preseason for their game last Friday. They lost 15 to 35 at home. The Eagles' ranking has dropped from the 80s to 143, according to Max Preps. Plus, all the lost experience on this team is a concern for Southlake, but it doesn't diminish Southlake team whatsoever, with Trey Kelly still in the backfield and transfer running back Sam Wood accompanying him.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely right, and the transfer is huge because I mean they lost probably their biggest piece of their offense aside from Trey Kelly, Malik Coleman, who was averaging over 138 yards a game on the ground. Unbelievable stuff. But honestly, even with all these pieces coming and going, it's Trey Kelly is a difference maker. He is a difference maker, and regardless of who's around him, he's going to still make the plays that an elite player would.
Let's talk about our keys to the game real quick. We have some keys for us, and one of them for me is on the defensive side of the ball. We have to get to the quarterback. We have to keep the pressure on Trey Kelly, so he has absolutely no time to throw, no time to make the extra read. We need to force him to get rid of the ball right away or bring him down because cannot leave Trey Kelly that much leeway in the backfield.
Yeah, exactly. And I honestly, I feel like Trey Kelly's not an if guy. It's not if he escapes, it's when he escapes. Eventually, no matter how good this defense plays, they're still going to make mistakes. And I think that Trey Kelly's still going to find ways to make big plays, but it's just limiting the amount of big plays that this guy can make.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. The talk is over. It's done for because it's here right now. We're doing score predictions. Connor, you go first. Southlake versus Eastridge in the dungeon. Sellout crowd. The largest in the school's history for football. The biggest game of the season. Who do you have? What's our score?
Well, Nick, I'm sure you know who I have. I'm sure all of you guys watching know who I probably have. Give me the Knights. They'll win this game 35 to 14.
I'm going to have my Pat McAfee moment right here. Ladies and gentlemen, how long have you just kept a grudge in your heart? How long have you just been angry something? How long have you waited to just release such emotions on somebody or something? Or in this case, 84 ball. That's right. It's that time. If you were angry about last year, but should be angry about last year. What happened after the second half of football last year at Southlake? It ticked me off, man. Guess what? I'm angry and I'm ready to win. The Knights are ready to win. People are coming from all over the county just to see this team play. These group of guys, this offense, this defense, the hardships in the offseason with transfers and graduates, they all recovered. The Knights are officially a top 25 team in Central Florida without a doubt. Southlake needs the experience and they don't have it anymore, losing over 20 graduates last year and unable to recover to them through transfers or JV prospects. Ladies and gentlemen, the dungeon needs to be loud. Dungeon has to be hostile atmosphere. Southlake will outdo you every chance they get in the seats and on the field. Ladies and gentlemen, give me the East Ridge Knights 31 to 27 in a close one. Classic, the greatest game in East Ridge history, one that can be plated in concrete and formed in a statue outside of the stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, East Ridge 31-27, no doubt whatsoever, and I'm not changing it.
Moment for this man. I mean, wow, wow. I felt moved by that. That got me excited for the game. I don't know how it wouldn't get anybody watching this not excited and hyped up, riled up to see this team absolutely, to see these two teams absolutely give us a unbelievable battle.
It's here, folks. And that's our episode. Subscribe to Ridgecord. Follow us on Instagram. But that should not be priority number one for you guys right now. You live in Claremont, maybe you don't have an affiliation with the school. Hold up. Be wearing black and gold and sitting on the home side. We need the community to come out. We're not talking about alumni or parents or just students or administration. We are talking about the city of Claremont. The city of Claremont is ours. It belongs to the Ridge. Give me the Knights by a million and come out and support them. Make this the loudest as the dungeon has ever been in all of its years. That's going to do it for our episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. East Ridge, Ridge Core, we're out.